Hey there, Mike Lapatino with you with our next podcast. It's the Frank Pepe Pizzeria monthly dish. And I'm so excited to be a part of this, celebrating 100 years of business right here in New Haven. Frank Pepe Pizzeria put this pizza on the map in the United States, if not the world. And with me now is Chris Dioria talking about what's behind me now, the pizza oven, the legendary pizza oven. And you've been here for over 17 years?
Yes, half my life.
I was going to say, you're a young guy.
Yeah.
So you started here really when you were a kid.
I did. It was my first job.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was a busser and dishwasher and moved my way up. Lucky enough to really take that passion that I saw from other people and put it to, dishwashing and, bussing tables and then going into the pizza,
Every employee at Frank Pepe Pizzeria is an integral part of their success.
Absolutely.
And you're a perfect example of it, of how this company, and it is a company, a family company,
Absolutely.
hires from within and promotes within.
Yeah.
Now you worked with Gary.
I did.
The late Gary Bama, who I miss every single day.
So do I.
But you talk about passion, and you talk about why a business like this has been around for 100 years. It's because he's a grandson or great
Grandson.
Your grandson.
Yep.
Is because they share that family value.
Absolutely.
Which is so important.
Yeah, he worked every day, and not only for his grandfather, but truly for his mom. He came into work and had that pride and led with that pride and really, shared that passion with us. And then, when you have great people that you work for like we do, you want to then take that passion and be passionate about what they're passionate about.
Exactly.
And that's what I think Gary and the family and everybody really instilled in us is that real passion. They cared more about you as a person, not only an employee, not only, they cared about you.
Yeah.
And you really felt that. I mean, Gary, would come in and he would just listen. I mean, he would just, and then you'd get something and you wouldn't even think that he heard what you said and he'd come in and he'd give you something and you'd be like, yeah, I heard, and you just didn't expect it. And that's really where, you really wanted to just do whatever you possibly could for him and his family and the rest of the owners the same way. They're all passionate about this.
He was bigger than life.
Yes.
He really, really was.
Yep.
And I'm so glad I had a friendship with him for many years and would always love to see him and would always get, and I'm a little guy and he's a big, and I always would get that big bear embrace.
Absolutely.
And I could feel the love coming from him. I mean, that was sincere. And again, that all translates to why this pizzeria was in business for 100 years.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any other business that can really say that.
No.
And it's because of that. It's because of family values,
Yeah.
And not only an Italian trait, but also just a family trait could be anybody. But in this particular case, because of that, this place has been in business for 100 years and 17 locations.
Yes. Yeah. We continue to try to take that passion and bring it to all the other locations as well. We have John and Charlotte, some of our main servers that have been here for 30 plus years, travel with us to the new locations to really spread that joy and that passion and that, the stories and knowing who we actually are. When you open up a new location, you don't have those people that, always that know Peppies and breathe Peppies and love Peppies like we all do. So we have to get those people around to really tell those stories and have those people know who we truly work for, who we truly are.
Exactly. Well, I was told before is that 17 locations. This is not a franchise.
No,
this is not and never will be.
No.
This is a family business that's just expanded so much to please a lot of people in the area.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like once you franchise, the quality goes downhill.
Exactly. And you know what? And that brings me to this, because when you build a new location and they build the ovens, right? They build the oven first, then they build the store around it because they need time for the oven to get seasoned.
Absolutely.
There's no date. There's no grand opening date at all. It's when the oven's ready, they'll open up.
Yeah, that's the hardest part for us in the operations part is not having the date. So you're working with a running kind of, date that we don't really know until this thing tells us.
Okay, I got to ask you this. Now, in a new location and you get in the oven season, are you guys practicing making pizzas and stuff and testing them out and seeing
Absolutely.
everything?
Absolutely. You can see a lot of practice here.
I want to be on that team. Well, this is not ready yet. I think we have to wait another couple of weeks. Let's cook some more pizzas.
We do it. I
That's
mean,
so
and
funny.
we'll share those pizzas around with the,
Yeah.
Hey, it's not ready yet, but we want you to try because our 80% is still very good, but it's not perfect, and that's what we really want to get
He's
to.
100% perfection.
Yes.
Have you worked at any other location? Have you helped out, or have you done
8 or 9 of them? So I've opened up about 7 of them.
No kidding.
But I'm in every single one.
Okay.
Yeah, I go around and I make sure that the quality is good in each and every single Pepe's.
So you got a new guy that applies for a job here,
Yep.
all right? And say, could they apply to be a pizza maker?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But to do that, they go through some kind of training.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would think.
We have some of the best pizza guys, I'd say, in the country.
Yeah.
So we really make sure that those people, are well taken care of to the point of we're having our other seasoned pizza guys really work with them. Myself, managers, really that share that passion and really want to make sure that those people are taken care of into knowing every single thing and the right way to do it, and show them how that perfect Pepe's pizza really is at the end of it.
And that is so important for quality control, to keep it the same, consistency. And that's what Frank Pepe's has been all about, is consistency for 100 years.
Absolutely. I mean, we really have great people. We say it's, people and pizza. And, without one or the other, you can't make it, right? You can't have the people without the pizza, and you can't have the pizza without the people. And we really have some of the best people, possible. I mean, we really do a great job of hiring our people.
And it's a technique. It's a special technique. I mean, it's just not just smashing the dough out, putting the sauce on, and throwing it in the oven. I mean, there is a science to this.
Oh, absolutely, and it's hard work. I mean,
no, I bet
it's long hours. I mean, long days. A lot, especially in the summer. I mean, some of these kitchens get 100 degrees plus. I mean, it's next to this 600-degree oven. I mean, it's hot. So
600 degrees.
Yeah, it is. It is a very hard job and a balance between Gary used to say it's like a ballet, right? Everybody has their own little nuances, and you have to work with each other on top of it. I mean,
oh man, that's so Gary.
Yep.
It's so Gary.
Yeah. The one thing I really miss about Gary is his laugh. I mean,
Gary,
Gary,
infectious.
Yes, it really was, and he just made you really want to have a good time while you work. And that's where we try to do as well, is we are working so hard. You got to like the people who you work with.
Exactly.
And you got to create that family culture where, you can really have an argument with somebody about something, right? But you squash it because it's over, it's family. And
exactly. Yeah.
and that's to me, that's the Italian way,
it is.
You got to have some arguments to care,
Well,
right?
you need that.
Yeah.
You need that passion.
Absolutely.
Is what it is. I don't call it anger. I usually call it passion.
Absolutely.
Even though it is probably anger.
It's a little bit,
It's a little bit of both. Yeah. But the main thing is that, you know what? And it's the same thing with my family, that, we can, I want to use the word, hey, we'll dislike each other.
Yes.
But it's only for a short moment.
Absolutely.
And then, you know what? Then it's all in the past.
It's all over
come
with,
on,
You get it out and you move on.
And that's it. And that's so typical of Beaumont. And John, too. Another
Yeah.
great guy as well, and his sister. They're just incredible. And it's so nice to see how this is being passed down.
Yes.
From generation to generation to generation. That it's just
Oh, absolutely.
just incredible. You're watching Frank Pepe Pizzeria, monthly dish. Mike Lampatino, and with me now is Chris Dioria, who's been here since he was 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
Making pizzas,
I've been over the counter looking at the pizzas since I was born. I mean, I used to come here as a kid. My mom grew up with the Beaumontis, and she was, when she was 12 or 13, her and Jennifer would be in the back washing dishes, and they'd call it the bakery, and they'd come in and they'd be washing dishes, and their reward was a pizza, so they didn't, they just loved it,
and you see that in other family businesses as well, the successful family businesses. You'll see that camaraderie and that love and respect for one another. And certainly for 100 years, that's what's been going on right here on Worcester Street.
Absolutely.
And other locations as well, 17 locations.
Absolutely. Well, especially Worcester Street, a lot of immigrants from, Italy. My great grandparents were here. There was just a lot of hard working, dedicated people, and they understood what passion was. So when they saw somebody so passionate about something, they really stuck by it. I mean, Frank was open till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, really making sure that people were fed. And he wasn't somebody that just said, all right, we'll just, have a 9 to 5. And, he was here all the time. They were gone on Tuesdays, that was their day of family. And, he really took the time to make sure that everybody was fed correctly. They loved pizza. They loved Pepe's. I mean,
it's that old school thinking,
Yes.
which needs to come back today.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to come back here to Frank Pepe Pizzeria because it's been doing this for 100 years.
Absolutely.
But that kind of commitment to your customers is so important. And again, it shows the success of Frank Pepe Pizzeria.
absolutely. That's why they called him Old Reliable.
Old Reliable,
I mean
yeah.
that he
Yeah.
was,
Always there.
Always there. I mean, and smile on his face, passionate about what he was doing, and we still to this day. I mean, we have amazing people that are passionate with what they do on a daily basis. This isn't just a pizzeria and a pizza job and a
No, it's not. It's
and you say it. You say, "Oh, you work at Frank Pepe's," and people go, "Oh my!" I mean, it is. It's a legacy.
It really is. It really is. I mean, and pretty much anywhere around the country.
Absolutely.
They all know about that.
Yeah, I mean, I wear my Pepe shirts everywhere,
Yeah,
and with pride,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You get people in different countries.
And there's not going to be anybody's that going to say, "Ooh, what's that?" They're going to say, "Oh, I love Pepe's Pizza."
and you get a story, and you get
exactly.
people. You don't see too many people that you're in a different state, a different country, and you wear a shirt, and somebody has an amazing story about how they went to Pepe, how they went to a pizzeria, and how much fun and how great the pizza and how they light up when they talk about it, and it's just another level.
I want to ask you a question. You're making a pizza for yourself.
Yep.
What are you going to make?
Personally, pepperoni. I mean, from a kid, I mean, that was my pizza. I mean, when I was a kid, I had my own pizza. My sister had her own pizza. My parents had their own pizzas because, we were taking it home. I mean, everybody got a medium pizza and you'd
Right.
eaten it for 3 days of leftovers. And pepperoni was my ultimate.
So you're rolling out the dough.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hey, take me through this process.
Yep. So we
I'm getting hungry doing that. I love doing this.
so we call it banging out. We bang out our
Yeah.
pizza, by our hands. We don't throw it up in the air. We have a very
No, you don't
soft,
throw it in your ear.
No.
Okay.
No. So it's a soft dough. If you start throwing it up in the air, number one, it'll be really, really thin in a spot. We have a thin crust, but you want some what we call viscosity. You want it to be
right.
like a English muffin. You want that little bit in the middle where it's got the nooks and the crannies where you're able to get that crunch to it. And then we transfer it over. We put our farina on the peel. We transfer it over, right? And then sauce. Our crushed tomatoes that.
Right.
I mean, we
Made in Italy,
Yep.
packaged in Italy, sent over here.
Yep, we get whole
specifically for you.
Yeah, whole tomatoes. We grind them every day. We have our grandchildren really
That's
come in and taste them and say, this is a little too this is a little too that, little tangy, but this is the, we really have it locked in of dates and, and we buy whole crops of tomatoes. I mean, we buy, a couple different days worth of, and, it really depends on the sweetness and the, of how long they were on the vine. So we really have it down to a science.
And that's just the tomatoes. We're going to get
Just the
back to the
tomato.
pepperoni, but
Yep.
that's just the tomatoes. But it also goes for the pecorino cheese as well.
Absolutely.
And the olive oil.
Absolutely.
Which is also big.
And our mozzarella. I mean, everything is crafted for the best experience that you can have on a pizza.
All right, you got the dough out.
Yep,
You
dough.
got the
sauce.
not the sauce on
Yep.
there. Crushed
and
tomatoes.
then we have our cheese. So our mozzarella we hand slice. So there's a difference between shredding the cheese and slicing it. The way it melts is completely different. It'll
right,
dry
yes.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. So our cheese we slice every
Slice
day.
it. I know that. Yeah. You
Yep.
got those. Yeah.
We got the slices. So that's a big difference between a lot of pizzerias and us. And it's a lot of work. I mean, people don't realize, we have somebody pretty much, especially here, 8 hours a day, every single day, just slicing cheese.
Just doing the prep.
Just,
doing the prep of
just
everything.
slice,
Yeah.
just cheese.
Just cheese.
That's not including all the other
Well,
toppings, all that. That's just one guy doing cheese all day long, you know? So, you know, we really do things, you know, not for productivity, it's for the end result to be perfect, you know? So we don't skimp on it, you know? And we have a guy that 3 or 4 hours a day, they're grinding the tomatoes. You know, we don't buy them already ground. That's not the way we do
No,
it.
they
They have
do
to
it
be
all done here.
All done here. And then we have our pecorino that comes in that, you know, it's the best thing that you can possibly buy.
And you're great here.
Graded
Yeah.
here. Yep. Every single location.
So it's always fresh.
It's always fresh. You know it's always fresh because the owners always come in and they be taking a bag home, you know, just because you can't get any fresher than today, you know.
I love it.
And then we have our pepperoni. Our pepperoni we slice here as well. So
And that's what you do. And then you put sprinkle on top of the sliced mozzarella.
Yep.
You put on the pepperoni.
put the pepperoni, grated cheese, a little of our oil blend onto it, and
You know, I was just saying before that the tomato pie is my favorite, but boy, I think you just sold me on this pepperoni.
it is good. It's a little spicy. It's
I don't mind that.
It cups up a little bit. That you know, flavor just gets into that middle of the pepperoni and just stays in there in the pocket.
It is.
And
It's a perfect combination of the dough, of the sauce, of the cheese, of the olive oil, and it's been a recipe for 100 years.
yeah,
So-
we don't skimp, and
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
quality ingredients. I mean, it's the best of the best that we can get. And you know, if there's something that you know, we try not to change anything. The only things we try to change is for the better. You know, you know, is improving it. We don't skimp on anything. If we can get something better, you know, we really do a good process in making sure, hey, is this better? Does this taste better? Hey, family come in, you know, let's taste it. You know, let's see.
Well, you are the quality assurance director, more or less.
Yes.
So you keep on top of this at all 17 locations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chris Dioria from Frank Pepe's Pizzeria. This is the Frank Pepe Pizzeria monthly dish. And as I said before, I can't be more honored to be a part of this New Haven tradition, sort of like the radio station
Yeah.
as well. You know, it's great to be a part of both of these.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing like a Frank Pepe Pizzeria. I'm telling
No,
you that right
no,
now.
that-
Try it once, you'll always go back. And I'm proof of that. You know, when I moved up to New Haven back in the 80s, when I first tried this, I said, this is the way pizza is supposed to be.
Oh, absolutely. That oven right there with that coal, you know, it's not
Oh,
charcoal, it's
It's
anthracite.
coal.
It's coal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it gives it that dry heat. So it cooks that bread dough. So we have a bread dough that we don't have a pizza dough. We don't put, you know, sugar into it, oil, none of that. It's an old school bread recipe. And then you get that char to it, that dry heat that dries everything, that crust.
To me, that's like one of the keys.
Yes.
Is that charred? That
Yes.
charred. Oh, that's
Absolutely.
just yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, if you don't have it, it's really not a Pepe's Pizza.
No, yeah, I agree with you. And there's nothing like a Pepe's Pizza.
Nothing like it.
Chris Dioria, thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time on the Frank Pepe Pizzeria monthly dish. Thanks for watching.